Okay, so welcome back to the last video. We're going to do this drawing here, which is called an orthographic drawing, or sometimes a working drawing, and it's what you would actually take to the workshop or send to a manufacturer to make your product. And it has all the dimensions on it, and a front view, a plan view, and some side views. That's the normal three basic ones it will have. But for this exercise, we're going to add the other views of our dice as well. So this is how you're going to do it. You'll end up going to your assembly, and it'll be assembly 1. And what you're going to do is you're going to go insert, and you're going to come down here and say Part Studio 1. Click that. This comes in, but rather than clicking this here, I'm going to go straight up to the tick and tick it there. And that automatically puts my item in the center of the origin. And that could become useful at another time. But it's a good practice to do that. So now I've got my object in my assembly space. I'm going to come down to here. I'm going to right click that tab. This comes up. I'm going to say create a drawing of assembly 1. Yours will say assembly 1. So click that. You get this template here coming up, and we're going to just do quite a specialized template. So we're going to go to custom template. We work in isometric, which is the metric way. We always work in A3. We're British, so we work in third angle. If you're American, you would work in first angle. And yeah, we're going to want 4 views. So it's going to automatically put in 4 views. We are going to include a border, but we don't want these little horizontal things. So we're going to say, yeah, none of those. And we're going to have none of the vertical ones. And for this exercise, we're not going to include a title block. Leave that bottom right there if you want to. So that should be what you should have showing on your template. When you got that and you're happy with that, click OK. This is now going to generate a drawing. This would have taken us weeks, years ago, but now this is done for us in relatively few seconds. And here it is, all positioned correctly. So there's my 3 views. And you can see if I hadn't have drawn this on the top plane, on the front plane, this would look different. It would be as you drew it. That's why it's so important to draw things in the correct plane. When you've got that cube on the right hand side, you're looking at which plane you're drawing at. This is an isometric, a 3D view, and this is just sort of independent. I can move this around anywhere, but I'm going to put it out of the way up here for the moment. These 3, because they are the same thing, they're sort of linked. If I move this one across to the left, sorry, to the right, the top one will move because it's the same thing. It always lines up. I can move that one, and they all sort of like line up together. All right, so you can never separate those. So that's good. I'm just going to move this one up here. Come up here a little bit and move that one there, maybe there. Move this one a little bit closer. So that's our starting point. Now we want to get the other views. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to go along here to this second one. That's where you insert things, insert views. This one here, projected view. I'm going to turn that on. Now, if I click that surface and project down, which is just literally, I'm not clicking again, I'm just taking this down. When I've got it where I want it, click to place that object. That's the 6 in. I'm going to click that again, project it down here. When I'm happy with where it is, click to place it. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to click this one again and come this way. And I'm seeing that other side there and click to place. So now I should have all my components in. We are going to do something with this. I'm just going to bring this back here a little bit now. Whoops. I'm going to bring this one back here, down here now. I press escape to turn off projected view. So I'm going to right click the isometric view and go show hide and go to the second one, the shaded view. That will now make it colored, the color I had it in my Part Studio. And if I change that at all, this will end up lighting up. That little update button will be lit up. and I could then click that and it will update my drawing for me and change the color, whatever I've done to this. So that's the update button. So there I've got that one there. But I'm going to make this one big. So I'm going to double click that. This menu now appears and you can see the scale. It says 1 to 2. So I'm going to click the arrow, actually make it 1 to 1, which basically means it's going to be full size. Press escape. Well, I'm going to tick that first. And I'm on select. I've got that arrow. And now I could still move this about. So I'm going to make it sure it's at a nice place on my page. Somewhere about there. And don't forget you can use, zoom in and out as you would normally do. I can press the scroll wheel in and pan. So it's still got a lot of functions with it. The last thing to do is some dimensions. And so we're going to dimension this up. So as we remember, if you want to dimension something, it's D on the keyboard. So D on the keyboard turns the dimension tool on. And this time, the dimensioning tool has a lot more features, has all these features for doing different things. But we're not going to need these in this respect. We could just do that this first dimension. But just to be aware that in a drawing, you can have different dimensions. So I'm going to leave that as it is. We're going to want the overall dimension. So I'm going to go from, I might zoom in a little bit. I'm going to turn that back on again, from this line to that line, and it should light up, is 100. And it's really important that I don't leave my number out here. It's a very precise thing. This should go in the middle. I want it in the middle of that line, sitting on the line there. So everything's very precise. So I'm going to do that one. Click it to there. I could do this one, outside a line to outside of that line is 100 again, and it sort of snaps to the middle. So that's 100 there. That's right. I could do let's do it on this one. I could do the internal, so the actual inner lines, which would be that one, or I could even hit that, which actually tells me it's 96. And these want to be in line here. I don't want one out here and one down there. They're all very, very neat and precise. So that will be in line there. I could do the same on this one. 96 again in the middle, but I don't have to put that 100 again because we know it's the block. We know all of that then must be 100. So I haven't got to put it. And even, the 100 this way, for this thing, you only want to put a dimension on once. That's all it needs. So last two dimensions I'm going to do is do the circle. I'm going to click the outside, which was the fillet, and then the inside, which is the real hole, which we know should be 15. And I'm going to come off at angles for those. So that is that dimensioned. I've got that double. Last thing to do is we're just going to put a couple of words on there. Here's the A. So we're going to write some stuff. We're going to write a little note. So I'm just going to click that there. It opens up a tab here. I can change all sorts of things, but we're just going to type all dimensions in MMS, so millimeters. We can tick that. And I'm going to do another one here, and I'm going to write my name. So I might just write name and then colon, and you can write your actual name on there. Tick that. I'm still going to write a note, so press escape. That gets out of that. And if I wanted to make that just a little different, hover over it, and you can pull that to the side and move that about. I can see I've made a spelling mistake. There's no space there, so I'm going to double click, opens it up again. I can put my cursor there, press the space and tick. So there we have it. Maybe I'll move that to the right a bit. An orthographic drawing. So I've made that full size, 1-to-1, full size. These are half size, and that is my orthographic projection of my dice.